Welcome to our Digital Marketing Made Simple webinar. I'm Dan Perez and I'm here with Sonia De Jesus. And for the next 30 minutes, we're going to share tips, ideas, and tools to help you achieve your digital marketing goals. Before we dive in, let's just say we've seen the digital landscape evolve firsthand and we're excited to share what truly works. Sonia, could you just share some insights into your background?
Sure. First, let me just say hello and thank you for joining us today. I'm Sonia, and I need to let you know I've been with Metro for over 25 years now, and many of you may already know me from either calls or emails throughout those years. I'm excited to be here. Before we get started, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat because at the end, Dan will be taking your questions. All right, Dan, I'm ready to get started if you are.
Yeah, just a little bit about me. I started as a spec artist and then transitioned to online director right when newspapers were first going online. So I understand what every one of you have gone through. I've experienced it too. So I've been with Metro for 17 years and I live by the motto, learn something new every day. And that's exactly what we'll do today. So let's get started. There's just our pictures. So what is digital marketing? It's about leveraging the power of the internet to connect with your potential customers with websites, online reviews, search engines, online advertising, and social media. This is what we'll be exploring today to show you how they can work together to grow your client's business. Let's talk about mobile. This statistic, 62%, isn't just a number, it's a wake-up call to all of you. Over half of all online traffic originates from mobile devices. If your digital marketing strategy isn't mobile first, you're potentially missing out on a huge portion of your audience. In today's online business, a professional business website is crucial. It's your digital handshake. Establishing credibility builds trust from the very first click. Think about this. 76% of potential customers are researching your business online before they visit you in person. If your business is not informative, user-friendly, or professional, you're probably losing out on a significant amount of foot traffic. 45%, that's the potential increase in foot traffic when you have a strong online presence. Don't leave those customers on the table. Here's an example of a first impression gone wrong. Now, this is actually something that my wife and I went through. So we heard amazing things about a local restaurant, and you can see it on the left-hand side here. This is actually their website. We weren't too impressed when we saw the website, so we actually drove by in front of the location, and as you can see, there's a beer logo in the front as well as a Rutgers sign. And hey, I'm a big Rutgers fan, more of a Penn State fan, but we felt like it was a bar and we actually just drove away. And then my wife actually finally took a trusted endorsement. Her hairstylist, she said, we have to get in there. So we did. And yes, it did have a bar, but it also had a warm and inviting dining area. So again, you would not know any of this by looking at their website. And that's why it's important to have a good website with photos like this. These are some photos that I've taken, and in fact, my wife actually said that the salmon there was the best she's ever had. Now, how do we resolve some of this just starting off without a business? Let's just say a business website, that is. Let's just say Google reviews is a big help for all of this. So 44% of consumers feel that positive Google reviews help them trust a business more. This is important. So one thing I would like all of you to start practicing is help local businesses by posting a review. It is crucial that these businesses have reviews, and not only reviews, but good reviews. So all of you can just take part in at least doing one review for a local restaurant, a local business. That would be huge. That helps the digital footprint out there with any search engines. Businesses do appreciate it. I do get remarks back every time I do a review, thanking me for helping them out. And I'm sure these businesses know who you are when you post a review. So that's really going to, help you guys out, be a little bit more credible with them, as well as become more of a friend to them. So there's another part of Google reviews, and that's Google Maps. And Google Maps is an app that you can download for your phone. And on Google Maps, there's an area called Explore. So that's on the bottom left of Google Maps. And for those of you that don't know what Google Explore is, it's a way to discover local area events, places to go, things to do if you're in the area when you're traveling or even in your local area. So that's ways that my wife and I always try to find new restaurants. On the left is just an example of how I've posted a review for a local restaurant that just opened. It actually was a review that I posted 4 days ago, and it's already showing up top for anyone that's doing an explore in the local area. So what that means is because I'm so highly ranked, it will show my reviews pretty high up there on the Explorer. And that's how I have gotten a lot of these views. Now, just some best practices that I would recommend if you are doing these Google reviews. I would first start off taking a photo of the outside front view of the location. So as you can see here on the bottom left-hand corner, this was a photo that I actually took in Philadelphia of an Olive Garden. And unfortunately, that car was there when I took the photo. I should have actually uploaded it with AI, but it's there and it still got 10 million views. And that was just 5 years ago. That's one of the highest photo views I've gotten. Another best practice is when you take photos, don't have people in them. And it's just because Google's just, I'm assuming that it's just by privacy, they don't want to have photos with people in it. And then also I would highly recommend, which all of you should already know, is take close-up photos of food or products. So another example is we were looking for engagement cards for a family member, and we couldn't find it at the local, big box stores. So we actually went to this small little tiny card store and ended up finding a ton of engagement cards there. We would have never known it, and we just happened to stop there. And of course, I start taking some pictures and letting everyone know that, hey, this place actually is a great place to get these cards. And not only that, they were 50% off, which we all know cards are expensive. So the next part is digital news, readership, and advertising. So again, that should involve most of us here in the webinar. 86% do get news from a computer, smartphone, or tablet. And 23% of those prefer news websites as a source for news. So again, that's a really good news for us. I believe 18% is the number for social media. So you guys still have the edge here with people preferring you guys for news. Now, how do we make money with all of this? So advertising online with web and mobile ads is one way. So Sonia, take it away.
Sure. Thank you. I'm just going to take a minute to review some of the digital solutions that you have available to you through Metro. First is our print with web and mobile ads. Every week, we create new content. Every print ad includes 3 websites options, making it easy to present a multi-platform marketing campaign for your advertisers. You can take it a step further with the My Ad Wizard by easily customizing your ad in 3 easy steps. Step 1 is you add your advertiser's information. Step 2, you select your spec ad. And step 3, presto, your ad is done. Ads on demand. You can submit a request and get professionally designed print, web, and mobile ads overnight. And before I go, I just want to let you know that if there was ever an advertiser that you go on the Metro site and you cannot find an ad for, please give us a call and say, hey, I was looking for an ad for a butcher and I couldn't find it. And customer service will make sure to have that available to you. Dan?
Yep. So there are also other ways that you can sell advertising online. And I think all of you know this word, native advertising. So one way that you can do native advertising, and again, for those of you who do not know what native advertising is, it's just basically using content that's produced by the newspaper and selling advertising into that content. So we have one way is through community features. So obviously a best of the best is a great way to post online with advertisers on there. Also, I love the day in a life. I think day in a lives really can go far now with online where you can show videos. You can do a lot more of a documentary online for that. and of course, video highlights. So you can do highlight videos of interviews. And again, one thing I would highly recommend is if you're doing any video, don't worry about the quality. I think everyone is looking for the content. And I think TikTok has proven that they're looking for content versus the quality. And of course, if you can do quality, go right ahead. Another part is interactive elements. So sponsored downloads. So if you have coloring pages, things like that, that you can actually download with a sponsor on there, that's another way that you can sell online advertising, as well as contests. I think we all know how well those contests do work online.
Hi.
Sonia?
Are you using Metro's editorial content online? If you're not, I want to let you know that Metro's copyright free articles and the coloring pages and so much more are examples of content that can be posted on your websites. Best of all, everything is fully approved to be used online. Without any copyright concerns, you can publish them with confidence. These are wonderful examples of ideas to engage your audience. And I like the prompt check and checklist. You know, parents and teachers love these, and they create prime sponsorship opportunities for your local advertisers.
Okay, so this is my friend QR code. So as you can see, there's a QR code on the right-hand side with a dinosaur, and I'll explain why you're seeing that dinosaur. But first, if everyone has a mobile phone, try scanning this QR code. It's actually a plug towards what we're going to show you towards the end of this presentation, and you'll get to see what you can actually do on a phone. So again, QR codes, what they are is a great way to bridging print and online digital. So content extensions, a great way of using QR codes is if you have print special sections and you would like to take them to an online special section. Again, as I mentioned before, video interviews are a great way to expand what you're doing with print. So for example, if you have a article in your newspaper, you can easily say, learn more about, or actually see how this all came about, or a little bit more of a interview documentary that you can do and post it on your website that can be scanned through the QR code for someone to see it on their phone. And then of course, photo galleries. So another way of using QR codes is promoting it to your clients to use as coupons and discounts. So another real world example that I'd like to share is, I went to a Mavis Tire, a local Mavis Tire, and they actually said, if I scan their QR code and I post a Google review for them, they'll take 20% off of my total bill. So I think that's a fantastic way for any of your clients to actually start growing their reviews online. At the same time, the customer gets pretty happy that they get 20% off just for, letting them express themselves and say how well of a job that the business did. And then, of course, that's how you would get posting a review. You can also create QR codes for direct reviews on Google. So that's something else that you may want to explore. So again, asking restaurants to create a QR code that they will place, on the table, please scan and give us a good review. That's another way that you can use QR codes. So if you don't know how to create a QR code, or you're using a QR code generator and you're not so trustworthy of that generator, and here's one reason why you really have to be careful with who you use and what you use as a generator. And the reason for that is, let's just remember a QR code is the middleman between that print product to the online. So you don't know if someone's tracking that information or they're going to redirect you in the future to another site. So again, you really want to be careful about who you use when generating QR codes. So one tip I'll give all of you here is that I generally like to use Chrome, the Chrome browser, because it will generate a QR code for you. And again, that QR code that you saw in the beginning of the slides that had a little dinosaur on there, that was actually generated through Chrome. So the way you would generate that QR code is that there's three dots on the top right-hand corner of the site. And if you scroll down on that, when you click on it, there's an area that says cast, save, and share. And then you would click the create QR code. So that actually would generate the QR code for you as an image so that you can share it to production and then place it in a print. Again, you will get that little dinosaur in the middle, but hey, at least it's trustworthy. So that the next part here is social media, and it's beyond just Facebook. So one thing I'd like all of you to do is, again, remind your local businesses that there are limitations of relying solely on Facebook page. Let's not forget that there are now admins in these the Facebook page groups. And so those admins are now saying, hey, I don't want businesses promoting themselves, or maybe just once a month that you can promote yourselves. So again, they are limiting themselves by doing that. And I'm not saying not to use social media. I'm just saying use it wisely. So one way to use it wisely is to use it as a traffic driver to websites. And how do you do that? So what I recommend is, if you have a website and you have links on that website, so let's just say you create a blog, and on that blog you have additional information about your business, you have suggestions, ideas, you can share that link on social media and drive people back to your webpage so that they can see more of what you're doing on your website instead of just posting just text. So another way of using social media is actually creating short form highlight videos. So that's another thing that obviously everyone has seen growing. TikTok has totally taken over on this. But again, Facebook is another way that you can actually start creating these videos and posting them online. So, like if you're a realtor, you can actually, instead of just showing a picture of the home inside out, you can actually create a video, a highlight video of a walkthrough of the home. So that, again, is a short form video. And then also, instead of just writing text in social media, why not create image tiles? So those are those images that you see within a post. And then here, Sonia, take it away with these social media tiles that Metro offers.
Our social media tiles are simple and easy to use. I'm going to say that again. Our social media tools are easy and they're simple to use. And the reason I want to make sure that I drive that message home is because the designs are always new and engaging. So your team doesn't have to think about the design or what are we going to say or what's going to be that impactful image. We're doing all the work for you. The Mother's Day image that you have Dan there and the self-promotion example are great examples to show you some of the options that you have available to you. This makes it easy for your teams to post and share messaging. And they're great. They're beautiful. Dan?
Now, Metro also has what's called marketing e-cards. So what are marketing e-cards? So they're easy ways for you to create an e-card online using Metro images. So what you're seeing here on the left-hand side for the Mother's Day, we automatically pre-fill all this information for you, all the development part. All you're doing is basically entering your contact information, as well as putting a little blurb as what you're seeing here on the right-hand side, and it will generate this e-card for you. So what do I mean by generating? It will create the coding behind the scenes that you then copy and you paste it into the body of your email, and it will send this style that you're seeing on the right-hand side to whoever your customer is. And the reason why you would do this is because it just looks a lot more professional. It looks a lot more engaging for your audience. And again, we offer so many different styles, as well as for events such as Mother's Day, Father's Day, and also self-promotion. So again, I'd highly recommend that you start checking out our marketing e-cards. And as a subscriber, you get this part of your package. Another area that Metro has created to help everyone build special sections online is our theme websites and directories. So on the left-hand side here, you can see this was our Brides Today this year that we've created, and it's a great way to increase traffic to your website as well as expand online revenue. So we do have directories, and we have ad directories where you can sell tile ads on there, and that can link to an advertiser website. And what you're seeing on the right-hand side is the print component to these theme sections. So everything that we have on content that we provide inside these sections are both available in both online and print. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen our new redesign of Metro's website. Part of our redesign of Metro website is what's called a mega menu. Now, that mega menu will steer you directly towards a search of results. So it does help you find things much easier. And because this is about digital marketing, I wanted to highlight that we do have a tab on this mega menu that says digital, and there you'll find quick links to everything that we just went through in this presentation. So drum roll, please. We are now introducing our CMS Bot. So this is Metro's digital marketing game changer. And why do we say that? Because we've created a new way for you to offer professional business websites as well as digital advertising all in our platform that we've created. So I was going to show some slides, but instead of showing slides, what I'd like to rather do is show you a live presentation of how these business websites do work. So I'm going to switch over now to our website. So hopefully everyone's able to see the website here. This is CMS Bot. Again, this is a product of Metro. We've developed this to try to make it very simple for publications, media companies to build out websites without needing a developer, as well as even a designer so much to create parts. But you will have a designer in the end that you can, update it with images that you choose to upload to these sites. So without further ado, I'm going to actually create one of these sites in front here live, and it shouldn't take us more than a minute to actually create a site. So you first click a try it now button. I'm going to show this verification code, and this verification, as you can see, I'm not logging in. I'm not using a credit card, as well as there's no cost for me to do a 3-day trial. Now, if you're part of our partnership with these digital marketing websites, you will have access to the same link that you just saw here, with the exception that it actually will count to your website builder, meaning that it will know that it was created on your website. It is your client. You build them out. You also have the ability of changing how many days the trial will last. So it doesn't have to be 3 days. We like things fast, so we said 3 days. But you can give them a week for them to try it out. And again, the trial is actually the full-blown website builder, as well as the back-end system, and also the ad builder that we have all built into here. So all I do is enter my verification code, and the site starts building its way through. So now this is just a teaser, but we are working on a contest website that's very similar to the way this business website setup is. So that will be coming soon. We're hoping that at least by the third quarter, we'll have those live. But let's go into a business website. So the first part of building a business website is actually just entering a business name. So here I'll just, again, you'll see that I focus a
Dan,
lot on food.
can I stop you for a little bit? Is there any
Sure.
you can make your screen a little bigger?
I can't make this part so much bigger.
Okay, gotcha. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. So again, business name, I'm just going to put Dan's Pizza Restaurant. And then, of course, I'm going to look. We have 24 different business categories here, and we will be adding more. Each one of these has been already pre-filled with photos, marketing content. So it does take us a little bit, but if you guys find anything that's missing here that you would like to be added here, we certainly can add that fairly quick. So I'm selecting restaurant, and this is pretty much the first step. The next part is choosing a color. So I'll just choose this maroon color here. And then the next part is choosing photos. So part of being a Metro subscriber is that you do have full back of Metro with 100% royalty copyright with each one of these photos. So everything that you're seeing here is part of the Metro library that you can actually just download straight from Metro, but we've actually put that all coordinated for you based on business categories so then you don't have to. But again, if you find something on Metro that you would like to add to the site, you certainly can do so. So now I'm going to select 3 photos that relate to my business restaurant that I'm doing here. I'll do that first. And again, it's an Italian restaurant. So let's just get some spaghetti and meatballs there. And then let's just say I don't find anything here that relates to my restaurant or business. I can just click here to reload more. So we do pre-populate this with a lot of photos. So as you keep clicking, click more, it's trying to find more photos that do relate to the business. So here's another photo of a pizza. I'll use that. And that's it. We've just completed our first website. So if any of you did use that QR code in the beginning when I presented the QR code, you could have done everything that I just did there on your mobile device, and you would get the same results. You'll also see that it is mobile responsive. So as you can see here, now that we've created the website, you do get this little guy bot that's going to tell you a little bit more about what we've created. So what we did was we've taken everything that you just submitted, and we've added a little bit of sample content so that it gets you up and running. And then, of course, if you ever want to change anything on the site, we do have a dashboard that I'll show you how that works as well. So now let's just see how the business website looks. So again, first impressions, as I mentioned, is everything. And I think that's what we're getting here is a great first impression. You'll notice that we have a type font here for Dan's Pizza Restaurant. I can actually change that in the backend system. We have some wording here that's a marketing headline promo that makes sense for a business restaurant, as well as we even have about information here, along with a photo gallery that's loading at the bottom. So all of this was just created in under a minute. And then, of course, like I said, you can change all of this through our backend system. So that backend system is our dashboard. So again, bot comes back onto the screen just to give you a little heads up of what you can do here. And it's telling you that you can add menu, coupons, events, as well as other things. So let's just jump right in. And we also put this little alert up here. So again, I just want to remind everyone that we've simplified the whole process. Everything that you're seeing behind, what you're seeing here, behind all of this, there's a lot of development that's made so that it looks as simple as it is. Because again, we're trying to create something that makes it simple for all of you to create a site, or your client can manage their own site. So either way, the point is that you would like to have a nice business website without spending time in development, or again, your clients don't want to spend the money as well. So you can modify menu and coupons. You can add that to your site. You can even put staff profiles. We even have a mail setup where anything that comes in through the contact will end up in your mail. And as I mentioned, you can change certain fonts, like for example, what you're seeing here. You can even upload a logo if you did have a logo for this website. But let's just say if I wanted to change a font, I could easily change that by looking anywhere at our 24 different variety of fonts that we have here for Google. So again, Dan's Pizza and Restaurant, and it changes the font on top. But you know what? I like how it was actually before, so I'll just go back to that. Also, you can change the color. As you can see, we have some color variations here. And now many of you will say, well, there's other colors I'd like to use. Well, there are reasons why we are using these colors. And one of them is because of Google SEO. And yes, Google is going down to the color of a website to start ranking sites by SEO. And I'll show you how that plays in part later. But again, if I want to change the color here, I could simply just click in orange and it will change the entire site to that color. But again, let's just go to a dark brown, and now we have that color. So going back to the dashboard, as you can see, this little bot stays there. It just tells you some information. It's telling me that on April 6th, we're going to be, our trial will end. So basically what will happen then is that the whole site will turn like a gray, like a little gray color, and then it will show whoever the contact newspaper was, their contact information, if that user would like to go live. So other parts to the site, you can change slides. You can even see analytics. So for example, while we were on this, obviously we only went to the homepage once, but it does show that we have one page view. So why do we have this? We've tried to simplify the best way for your customers to see analytics without sales reps having to generate reports through Google. So instead of running a report whenever your client calls, you can simply just say, hey, you got an analytic tool inside your website, go there and you can see right away. So again, this will play in part with if anyone runs an ad, they can actually see how much traffic they received that day. So again, it's not going to tell you exactly who went on your site, but you will see if there's been action on your site. And that's the whole point. And I think that's what businesses want to see. They want to make sure that their business website is working. So going back to the dashboard, here's the last part I'll go through. There's so many great things on the site, but I think this is one that does relate to all of us. So web ads. Web ads are difficult to create when you have to resize them and make them, but we've tried to create a new way for you to do that using these sites. So we're taking all the data that was actually inputted and you'll be able to create a web ad with that. So what I'll do is I'll show you in less than a minute how easy it is to create a web ad. So first you need a headline. So sticking with the bot theme, I'm going to go with a headline. Let's just see. Pasta La Vista deal. So again, Terminator was a bot, so let's just stay with that. I could change the font style. I'll just stay with the sans serif. And then I can also add a blurb. So here's the blurb. And you'll notice too, it does tell you how many characters are left. And there's reasons why we're doing all of this. And again, it's so that it's self-contained within the ad and it doesn't look awkward. It's a bit difficult to do something like this on the fly, but we were able to do it. And again, you can always have a designer later on modify it through Photoshop. We're going to choose to have a click here link. I'm going to have my address and phone number. And because it is a Pasta La Vista deal, I do want to show some pasta here. So I'll look in here. And again, you'll see these are, again, all Metro photos, and they are all copyright protected for you. So let's just use this spaghetti and meatball. And once I've selected it, and again, if you don't want to use any of Metro images, we also have seasonal images that you can promote, for example, Easter, or you can even upload your own image. But for now, let's just stick with the restaurant gallery that we've created and selected the meatball. And once I do that, I submit that. And what's happening right now is the site is going to take all the information that we just entered and create the web ads for you. So as how a designer would design, and again, as I mentioned in my experience, I started off as a spec artist, so I do have a little bit of knowledge on how designers work with how to create these ads. So one way that you create an ad is by selecting colors that relate to the photo that you see here. So I've been able to find the colors, the best colors of the photo, and actually create an ad based off of those colors. And you'll notice here, it's got everything based on the colors. We even have a color palette so you can see the range of colors that it chose. So these are different design styles that you can choose from. As you can see, you can select any of these as a web ad. And these actually will perform as a image. So you can download any of these ads by simply clicking the download button, and it will download it as an image. So again, just some examples. It's created 36 by us just putting that information. So going back to our site, I did mention that, let's just close off here. We have what's called created these sites in a certain template style. And so what that means is it basically will use the same layout for all businesses, but based on the images that you actually are seeing here, it will change the design of the site. So here's a barbershop website. It also has created a nail salon website. As you can see, they both look pretty different. Again, because it's utilizing different colors as well as a logo and different images, it does look like a different site. Here's a sample of a vineyard site.
Dan, now
Yes.
that we're out of creating the site, is there any way you can show these images a little bit bigger? The websites?
I don't, let's see. I can't right now unless if I show the entire desktop.
Okay, it's just, it shrunk, your screen shrunk down a little, that's all. That's okay.
Okay. So going back to these sites, you'll notice that they all, again, look different, even though they do have a different design style here. And again, one of the reasons why we do use this template is because we are creating these sites for Google to rank us much higher than just normal sites out there. And so I'll show you an example of one of the rankings. So as you can see here, this is what's called page speed insights. So what I would recommend for all of you, if you're trying to gain business with businesses that have websites and you feel like they're not good, you can actually run what's called a page speed insight. This is Google's way of testing out websites to see if they actually pass the benchmark of what they expect. So as you can see here, we've actually surpassed those marks. Once you see green, you know you're ready to go. So it's a very hard thing to do to get these numbers in green. As you can see here, it's an 84. And why is it an 84? As you remember, I mentioned before, Google looks at colors. And so this is an 84 only because the color is slightly off of what Google asked for as a color, and that's the reason why it's an 84. So we can modify that to try to get it a little bit higher. But for a design sake, I chose, hey, I do want the site to look good. And so that's the reason why we're not using a darker green for the site that's recommended here. So as I'm showing the site here, you'll notice it's called Honey Badger Landscaping. It's a website, and this website is actually a live website. This site was sold by the Daily Sentinel. I'll give you a little real world example of what happened here. So I did show Daily Sentinel, the product of the CMS bot. They went out on a Monday to show the site. The owner of this company actually built the entire site on their phone. And within a week, they were live on the site. They were able to update what they needed to on the site, as well as we were able to help them link their domain name to the site that you're seeing here. So again, that was the Honey Badger landscaping website. And again, kudos to the Daily Sentinel for selling that so quickly. And I believe they have a few more coming along the way. Going back to the presentation, let me just see if they'll allow me to switch back to that. One second. Here's just Rick Craig, who's publisher at the Daily Sentinel. This is his testimonial for us in regards to our CMS bot. And he says, we're seeing huge potential with CMS bot for boosting our digital sales. It's priced well, so we can make a good profit and add marketing bundles for our clients, so everyone wins. Rick, again, thank you for the testimonial, and I look forward to working with you more with creating more of these sites.